Good evening. As we come on the air tonight from Jacksonville, Florida, and as you can see, Hurricane Matthew is churning right off the coast, right here in Jacksonville as we begin tonight. And right here behind me, that storm surge they've been talking about, this is St. John's River here in Jacksonville. You can see the water almost up to the sidewalk here. They were worried about this surge, and it is underway as we're here tonight. In the meantime, take a look at the other images coming in right now. Also right here in Jacksonville, you can see the water there breaching the shore, rushing into the streets, already flooding homes at this hour. The western side of the eye wall first touching Central Florida, Daytona Beach battered at dawn. In St. Augustine, the storm surge, the water's rising, families stranded, staying inside this inn. Those powerful waves eroding the beach, ripping away this historic highway along Palm Coast. And to give you an idea of just how close we are to Matthew right now, just take a look at the radar at this hour. Spinning right off Jacksonville, Georgia and South Carolina in harm's way tonight. In a moment, we are going to take you right up in the air with the hurricane hunters flying through Matthew right now. You will see images right from the cockpit. But we begin tonight with ABC's Eva Pilgrim in St. Augustine in the middle of this storm.
Tonight, deadly Hurricane Matthew pummeling the Central Florida coastline, already claiming at least 4 lives.
You can see just how bad it has gotten here.
From the roof, ocean water breaching dunes and taking over these Jacksonville streets. And on the ground, inside the Jacksonville Baptist Medical Center, hospital staff rushing 21 newborns out of the NICU to safety. Overnight, torrential downpours and wind whipping stoplights, thrashing palm trees, submerging cars on the road.
You can see the water out here. It's blanketed by this rain now.
Power lines exploding and breaking under the wind, leaving more than 1 million without power.
You can see it also took down some power lines. Those power lines are down all the way down the street here.
Here in St. Augustine, Florida, devastating flooding.
You can see how strong the winds are and the rain. The water's actually coming over the storm wall there, and we're not even on the beach.
Further into town, nearly 24 people, including children, trapped by the rising, raging water inside the Casablanca Inn bed and breakfast. 30 miles south in Palm Coast, Florida, a home security camera captures the moment floodwater barrels towards and crashes into Grant Lynch's glass door. Hours earlier, the ocean spilling out into the streets of Daytona Beach, Matthew turning the once busy intersections into waterways, tearing through Melbourne and Vero Beach too, swallowing park benches, tearing up roofs and tearing down trees, washing whole roads away. 4,200 flights canceled in the U.S., more than 3 million people fleeing their homes as Matthew now sets his sights on Georgia. FEMA officials and the National Guard preparing to provide relief with states of emergency declared in Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, and South Carolina, while authorities up and down the coastline urging residents to continue riding out the storm.
This is still a really dangerous hurricane, that the potential for storm surge, flooding, loss of life, and severe property damage continues to exist.
Really, the best thing now is to just hunker down, stay in a safe place.
Be sure that you do not put yourself in greater jeopardy by trying to return too soon. There comes a point where we cannot jeopardize the lives of our first responders any further.
David, this is still a very active situation. As you can see, this water is very much still high at this hour, and it's causing rivers about 25 miles inland to go into major flood stage. It's going to take days for this water to recede. David?
ABC's Eva Pilgrim tonight. Eva, get to higher ground, make sure the crew is safe. In fact, we're up above now the St. John's River that I showed you right at the top of the broadcast. And we want to get to Chief Meteorologist Ginger Z, who's now on Satellite Beach. That's where she was as the storm hit earlier this morning and moved its way up the coast of Florida. Ginger, where is the hurricane right now? Where's it headed?
David, gusts along these beaches on Satellite Beach included 90 to even 107 miles per hour. But now that storm is about 140 miles north of us. It is a Category 2, moving north at 12 miles per hour. You can see it right there on the map, the eye of it, east of you in Jacksonville by about 40 miles. So next up is coastal South Carolina and coastal Georgia. That's who has it tonight. The heaviest rain, of course, that storm surge, and a tornado watch that includes Savannah and Charleston. Keep in mind, tornadoes always a possibility with hurricanes. hurricanes, and it will be until midnight tonight. The hurricane warning extends from just north of Daytona Beach up through Wilmington. And a quick look at what's happening track-wise with this storm. It's still hugging along the coast, very close to Charleston overnight tonight, downgrading to a 1, but still could be powerful surge, and then off into the Atlantic it goes. That tropical storm Nicole that's out there actually may nudge it, David, a little closer back to the Bahamas later this week.
Meteorologist Ginger Z.